Let's do it. What's up, Chris Leeper?
Hey, T. So T, I look better than he does, right? I just want to make sure that you were just being polite and didn't want to leave him out.
Yes, Todd, you always do.
Okay, just to make sure. Hey, listen, I do want to call attention to the fact that you are not wearing a hat today.
First time in, I guess, a month and a half.
Oh, that's great. Love it. Of course. Oh, love it. So we're in countdown mode. We've got 3 minutes, it looks like, until we are live with the one and only Jason Pantana.
Yes, sir. Where are we getting?
So how'd you all, what did everybody think about the last couple of days? I mean, geez, come on, Steve Harney and Nick Vujicic. God, that's such a hard name to say, but wow, what an amazing couple of speakers, huh?
Pretty epic.
We did, so we did break Zoom yesterday, just so everybody knows. We literally broke it, and that was crazy. I think we got it all fixed up now, right?
We will see. I hope so.
Yeah.
Pretty sure we will. We'll be fine.
Yeah. Certainly for the future, if you want to make sure you got a seat, you better get there early. That's for sure. So 2 minutes.
Someone just asked if there was a recording of Nick yesterday. Yes, there are. The easiest way, if you just go to the Coldwell Banker West Facebook page, or really probably anybody's Coldwell Banker Facebook page, you can find it.
Yeah. Hopefully all of the blog and Chairman Circle companies have also shared it on their page, but it all originated from CB West and then went out to all of our personal page. You can find it on my Todd Conklin personal page, or the Coldwell Banker Distinctive Properties page, etc. Nova Scotia, nice. It's international for sure.
That's awesome.
Oh, I love it. Jason, I don't know if you're listening or not, but I've got Sean Blankenship sending me text messages talking about the good old days. I'm just going to say that. The good old days.
John Blankenship, how's it going, man? He's watching.
Yeah, man. How good is that? So it's been sort of a little bit of an old home week, right? We had David Cerroti this morning say, "Hey, what's happening?" We had Rick Hoffman, and now we got Blankenship. I'm waiting for Rick Gregory to pipe in here in a second and do the same thing.
Where are they all at? Lindsay,
right?
David.
That's great.
Yeah. Coldwell Banker's family.
That's it. That's right.
All right, I'm gonna hide myself until y'all are ready to get kicked off. You guys keep chatting.
I think we're ready. It's 12 o'clock. Are we going to get started?
I think we're ready.
Why don't you start streaming, and as soon as you get the green light that it's streaming, we can get started. How's that?
Yeah, it's preparing, so it's probably going to take a couple minutes, as it has every time. But maybe we'll get started. Todd, I'll just say thank you to you for getting Jason on the call. And thank you to everybody at Coldwell Banker who is participating and helping us get speakers. Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, of course. Yeah. And listen, I'm pretty sure Jason wouldn't have said yes to just me, but it was the power of the brand. And it was the fact that, we've got, I mean, think about it, all the Chairman Circle companies, much love to the blog family. And then of course we've got you, Peter, and Coldwell Banker West, and Chuck Whitehead with Coldwell Banker Associate Brokers, both you guys rocking Southern California. Mike Carter down in New Mexico, Legacy Group, Sean Blankenship, of course, new owner extraordinaire, which is fantastic in Tennessee, Memphis area, Mike Pradell, and as I've said before, they're everywhere. Great company, and of course Rick Gregory, CB Advantage in the Carolinas. So Jason, that's got to be a lot of names that you remember from back in the day.
Oh yeah.
I get the honor to introduce you today. So first of all, thank you very much for being here. I don't know if you all know this or not, but Jason actually used to be the learning engagement director for Coldwell Banker. So he understands Blue at a very high level. Very excited to have him here. Currently, he is a top business coach for Tom Ferry and speaker. His go-to from a speaker series and class is Marketing Edge. And if you have not taken Marketing Edge, you need to make that the #1 priority. It will literally change your lead game forever. It's such a great class that we've actually sent our marketing staff to Marketing Edge. That's how solid it is. And listen, he's a digital marketing genius. One kind of cool thing we got coming is May 11th and 12th. Is that right? Your virtual is 11th and 12th?
12th and 13th of May.
Sorry, May 12th and 13th. They're doing the Marketing Edge virtually, which means you get to save on travel. You get to save on lodging. You miss out on some of the connecting, which I think is really important, but you don't miss out on the really high value stuff. So definitely encourage you to do that. I would encourage every single one of you to connect with him on Instagram. He's putting out little snippets of great content, actionable tactics that you all can do to generate leads right now. So definitely do that. And hopefully he's going to share a little bit about a new live broadcast that he's doing on YouTube and Facebook called Marketing Stream. So with all of that, Jason, thanks very much for being here. Welcome.
Todd, Peter, everybody, Coldwell Banker, thank you for having me. It's a real privilege. And Todd, I love this brand. I do still bleed blue, pretty sure of it. But I would have said yes for you no matter what, because you're Todd.
Oh, thank you.
And I have such respect for you and for all these brokers, all the managers, all the agents of Coldwell Banker, a wonderful company. And I'm delighted to get to spend about 45 minutes to an hour with you all today. Just real quick before I jump into content, the marketing stream that he mentioned is just a live Q&A. You can get details on my Instagram, Jason Pantana, on YouTube or Facebook, my Facebook page. I stream to both Facebook and YouTube. And really my intent is I just want to provide Q&A. There's a lot of questions about marketing right now. There's a lot of opportunity in the marketplace. And so I'm just trying to be as valuable and as much of a resource as possible. So with that being said, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to share my screen up. I've got quite a number of slides. And as we do that, I'm going to give you a little pro tip on Zoom. When you see me share my screen, there's going to be like a little double gray bar. It's going to be right between my face and the slides. And you can kind of drag that bar and make the slides bigger or smaller based upon your own preferences. And today I want to walk through 4 marketing plays that you can implement in your business like pronto, right now, to start growing and having opportunities. So let me get my screen up here. You should be able to see my slides right now. Let me put it into full broadcast. And let's talk about digital marketing plays for now and for later, because that's really, when I think about marketing, it's got that short term, what are my immediate results type of thinking behind it. And also the big picture, right? What's the future look like? What are the projects I'm invested in right now to make sure that I'm positioning my brand powerfully for the future and for right now? So I'm going to go through 4 plays today. Just again, let's connect on social. Would love to do that. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. I'm active on all the platforms. I would say that Instagram is probably my main platform, except I live stream here. Let's just connect on social. I know you guys are on social media. I would love to connect with you there. Just Jason Pantana across the board. And of course, I want to represent the man, the boss, Mr. Tom Ferry, who I have the distinct privilege of working for. Love this company. I actually got to know Tom, believe it or not, when I was working for Coldwell Banker. That was my first time meeting him personally. And we used to speak together at events, and there was a really great just kind of chemistry, and I loved what he did. And as our futures sort of unwinded, it became that I was able to join his company, and it was a wonderful fit for me. And I won't get into the whole long story, but I'm proud of what we do. We're the #1 coaching company by the Swampole Power 200 for the last 7 years in a row. I remember it was like 3 years in a row when I started. It's been 4 years since I've been with Tom now. And then it's again, and again, we've been privileged, and we're thankful to be named the #1 coaching company in all of real estate. And when I look at that, what it makes me think and what I'm grateful for is I think about my clients that I get to coach one-on-one. I personally coach about 40 of Tom's coaching members. We have about 5,000 coaching members across our ecosystem, mostly here in North America. And when I look at the 7 years consecutive #1 rated coaching company, we are a success-based coaching company. And so when I think about the opportunity to pour in and have an impact on the lives and businesses of so many amazing agents, I'm super grateful for it. I also show you this to let you know that the stuff I'm talking about is coming straight out of a program we're doing right now called Pivot, which I'll give you some details about what that program is at the end of our time together. But I want to reinforce, like, these are not just made up out of thin air types of strategies that nobody's doing and we hope they work. The stuff I'm going to get into today, I want to show you through case study what other agents are doing in different marketplaces around the US, around Canada, internationally, that we know is moving the needle, that we know is working in their business. So rest assured, like, this is stuff that we have other folks who are doing. You're not a guinea pig, right? We're not testing it on you, because our goal is to get you into action and to step up and leverage the opportunity. All right, so look at the screen here. This is my picture of every business on the planet. I think you could look at any business. It could be Netflix, it could be Lowe's, it could be Home Depot, it could be your business, it could be a virtual business, a not virtual business, any business on the planet. If you zoomed out and looked at it, at how it functioned from a 30,000-foot view, and you look down, you could divide that business into 3 main sections, 3 primary business units: operations, marketing, and sales. Operations for any business on the planet is focused on delivering the product or delivering the experience, serving the customer, right? It's the belly to belly stuff. So for us as agents, operations is really all about, normally, like not now, but in normal conditions, it means showing property, writing contracts, being an agent, right? And you think about agents who go into business, like, agents get licensed for lots of different reasons. Ultimately, it's because they see the potential in their career, because they want to be an agent. They want to serve more customers. And the product that you sell is called agency, right? You sell brokerage services. That's what it is. But most agents, they historically spend most of their time right here in operations. But the minute you got licensed, and you probably already know this, or at least I hope you do, you went into business as an independent contractor. In other words, it was your business, right? And so we have operations, marketing, and sales, because every business on the planet is required, needs to do marketing, needs to do sales. What is marketing? Marketing is all the stuff you do online, offline, that's designed to grow the pipeline, to generate leads and future opportunities, to get interest, right? That is then handed over to a sales team for most businesses. And the job of sales is to work the leads, convert them into customers, and then round and round the circle goes, right? So the question is, what happens if you stop marketing? And it's kind of like an airplane that stops the engines, right? It just, over time, it's going to lose that altitude, right? Never stop marketing, right? Because the minute you do, you lose altitude. Now, it could be that the marketing has to change. Does the marketing need to change now? Yeah, of course it does, right? Nobody wants to be tone deaf. We want to make sure our messaging is right in the marketplace now. But I'm thinking about, I think it was Tom Fishman who said it. I can't remember who it was, but it was like, the best marketing is when you don't know it's marketing, right? So I want to talk to you about strategies that position your brand powerfully, position you as a knowledge broker in the marketplace, but don't seem salesy or pushy or anything like that. Most agents, they usually spend most of their time in operations, but I'm going to take a wild guess, just given all that's going on right now, that a lot of us probably do have more time available for marketing and sales opportunities. My focus here is never stop marketing, right? I'm looking at this study from Bain & Company, and I'll get through this really fast. Bain & Company, they've done studies of different businesses before, during, and after recessions, before, during, and after crises. And in a nutshell, here's what they found. Companies that got all aggressive about cost cutting, they stopped marketing, they stopped research, they stopped sales efforts, and they just tried to contract and shrink and survive through hardships, whether it was crisis or recession. Those companies fared poorly in the end. Over here, you see they never quite got it back. But these companies, the leaders, they're the ones who said, you know what, we're going to transform how we spend money. We're going to be intelligent, not foolish, but we're going to keep marketing, keep our sales, keep operating. What they did is they actually got wind in the sails, right? What was fascinating in the study is that over time, these companies here who tried to stop spending too much here, they ended up spending more in the end. These companies here, I'm not saying be foolish or foolhardy about your money. Like, I'm not saying don't cut unnecessary expenses, but I am saying the ones who got strategic during the hardship, they positioned themselves to grow powerfully in the long run. My encouragement to you is never stop marketing, because you don't win in sales playing defense. And my hope is that I'm going to equip you with some ideas today that you can take and put in your business right away. So let's get into it. Grab your notes, just something to write on, whatever it is. I got 4 things I want to go through. First one, just write down expert interviews. You can use the word Zoom or not. I don't care if it's on Zoom or not. We're using Zoom now. Zoom's a wonderful platform. Write down expert interviews. And then notice I said post, premiere, or live stream. I'll get back to that in a second. I just want to kind of walk through with you what's down here. I'm going to read the slide, which is a rookie mistake for a presenter, but allow me to read the slide, please. Schedule virtual meetings with local influencers. Like who? Business owners, city officials. So like what kind of business owners? Well, they could be like fitness coaches. They could be nutritionists. They could be lawyers. They could be marriage or family counselors. They could be local city officials. They could be restaurant owners, grocery store owners, whoever, right? It's expert interviews with people who have a scope of expertise that is beyond perhaps what you do, right? So we're going to schedule these virtual meetings, probably using like Zoom, ideally, to do this. And then it says post, premiere, or live stream across your social channels using tools like Zoom, StreamYard, or Instagram Live invites. Let's break that down. Post means I pre-record the interview using a tool like Zoom probably, and then I post it. Where? Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, you name it, just post it, right? Multicast it everywhere. Premiere is a unique tool. This is a feature of just Facebook. A premiere is kind of like a live on Facebook, whereby you can pre-record the video, but then you can premiere it at a set time. And that allows you to kind of use the functionality of a live stream on Facebook. So I've noticed a lot of churches have actually been using this one right now because they're like recording their Sunday services on Saturday because they don't want to risk a technical failure on Sunday. So they pre-record them, but they premiere them on Sunday. Why? So that all the people can chat and interact together at the same time as they watch together. Your prerogative here. I don't care which one. Or live stream. Go live where? It could be Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Instagram Live. You pick. It could be a combination of that, right? Now, I'll tell you this. With Instagram, there's a caveat. There is no service that allows you to stream into Instagram Live. The only way to go live on Instagram is to use the app. There are tools out there. I'm not going to name them. But they say they can allow you to go live on Instagram. But if you read the terms of service of Instagram, it's a violation. So I wouldn't do it. So the only way to go live on Instagram and another platform at the same time, technically, correctly, is I have 2 phones. I got 2 phones looking at me, right? Tom Ferry's got this apparatus, this thing. I call it the pitchfork. And it's this big stand that's got like 4 iPhone holders. And so his little videographer will walk around sometimes with 4 iPhones on it, right? Why? So he can go live on Instagram and Twitter and YouTube and Facebook, right? And YouTube, those types of things. So the idea here is pretty darn simple. Let me give you an example. This is John Grauman, Beverly Hills, Tyler Whitman, Manhattan, both coaching clients of ours. John invited Tyler to go live with him on Instagram. So I don't know if you've ever seen this, but if you're on Instagram, across the top header bar of Instagram, you see all the stories. Sometimes you'll see that somebody's live. Sometimes you'll see 2 people are stacked on top of each other and they're both live together. It's a live with or a live invite. One person's on the top of the screen, one person's on the bottom of the screen, right? And so a lot of people conduct interviews that way. They're especially popular right now. Why? Well, because I don't know if you're like me, but like my Instagram has been nuts with live casting and whatnot just every day as we've been in this pandemic. And I'll tell you why. It's because people are on those platforms. I read a stat and it estimated that usage on Facebook has increased by 70% due to coronavirus. Now, that includes Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp and things like that. It also includes Instagram, which is owned by Facebook. But man, there's a reason why people are going live right now, because the audience is as big as it has ever been, right? So they go live with. Now, if I think I can show you real fast. Let me see if I got my phone up on the screen. It may, yeah. So it's still here, right? So you see my phone on the screen. Like, here are my stories across the top. It just so happens nobody's live right now. There's Tyler, comes right there actually. So how do I do a live on Instagram? Let me just train you real fast. I would click the camera in the top left right here, like so. And then here we are, we're in my office, right? There's I'm out of coffee, but here's my office, right? So if I want to go live, I just click on this little guy right down here. So I slide over and I go live. It's got to catch up. Oh, it's ready to go live. Let me flip the camera around. Here I am. So I would click it and I'd be live, okay? Once I click it, I'm live. But here's the trick I want you to know. How do I go live with somebody? And the answer is, the person with whom you want to go live has to be watching your live stream first. And when they're watching your live stream, you'll be given an option to invite them in, and they can then accept that invitation. So John goes live first. Whoever starts the live is always on the top of the screen. Whoever comes in on the live is on the bottom of the screen. But here's what's awesome about it. See, if I followed Tyler, and let's just pretend I didn't follow John. Well, when John brought Tyler to go live, I'm going to get notified because I'm a follower of Tyler's, right? And so going live with somebody on Instagram, an expert, especially one who's an influencer, who has some kind of a following on Instagram, that's a way for me to gain access to their audience because, man, Instagram's going to notify them. Tom Ferry's live, so-and-so's live. They're going to notify you they're live, and then you can gain in on their audience a little bit. Here's another example. This is Sean Ryan. He's interviewing a loan officer, just giving you some examples. And I'll give Todd the slides so that he has those to share with you all if you'd like that. But it's just Zoom. He's using Zoom, and notice how he's also live on Facebook at the same time, because if you pay for Zoom, you can go live on Facebook too. All right, top tools for interviewing and live casting software: Zoom, StreamYard. I use StreamYard. I like StreamYard because it allows me to go live on YouTube and Facebook at the same time. That's why I like it. Be Live is another popular streaming service. And then Instagram Live Invites, which is what I just showed you how to do, or at least kind of walked you through how to do it. All right, that's the first one. Number 2 on your list, grab your notepads, write this down. Number 2 says weekly digest emails. Man, like, the opportunity is real, friends. Step up and become a knowledge broker. Look at this here. This is not a typo. Email has a 4,400% ROI. I kid you not. Like, when you think about the viability of a marketing channel, I would argue there is nothing as effective as email. Nothing. Like, I love video. I love all those things. They're the greatest formats, right? But man, as far as channels go, email marketing has a 4,400% ROI, and yet way too many agents are just kind of phoning it in. They're not really taking full advantage of the potential of email marketing. So I'm just going to read this again. It says, stop sending canned junk mail if that describes you. Let me give you a little thought here, and I'm going to just kind of tell you my opinion. I've got a lot of strong opinions. I want you to imagine, because I'm not a huge fan of canned content. My belief is that content should be representative of you and your voice, because you're trying to garner trust in the marketplace. And if it's somebody else's words, if it's someone else's emails, and you didn't look at it, like, that isn't, I think that cuts you short. I'm not saying you can't have some tools that help augment what you're doing, right? Like, I know you've got improv and that's great stuff, but adding your own language, it's your business, right? It's you that people are buying into. Just so, for instance, I'll give you an analogy. Let's pretend that we become best buds over the past year. We're really good friends. And I say to you, like, let's pretend it's November, and I say to you, I'm like, hey, we've become really close friends, right? And then you're like, right, we really have. And I said, I'd love to add you to my Christmas card list. Can I do that? And you're like, I'd be flattered. Yeah, please do add me to your Christmas card list. I'd be delighted. My address is 123 Banana Street. So then you give me your address with the thinking that I'm going to give you my Christmas card because we're best buds now. And then December rolls around. It's a snowy, blustery day. And the mail comes, and you're like, oh, could it be today? Is today the day where I get my Christmas card? And so you go out to the mailbox, and yes, you find an envelope with my return address. And it says P.O. Box. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't give you a P.O. Box. I give you my real mailing return address because we're best buds, right? That's what I do. So I bring it inside, I shake off the little snowflakes, and I open it up thinking, This really solidifies the relationship. And then I pull out a random stock photo of somebody else's family. Now, what would be the impact of that? Well, you, the recipient, would be like, why did he give me somebody else's family? This is canned. This is junk. This isn't what I signed up for. And it would probably damage the relationship, right? It wouldn't make any sense. Yet I look at email marketing with agents. And I see so many agents saying, oh, I got their email, great. Let me just hook them up on this thing that I've never read in my life. I don't know what it says. I don't know if it's tone deaf or not. And it's going out to them. And you have to imagine what it's like. Like this person gave you access to their inner sanctum of their iPhone with email. And then all of a sudden they're like, why are you sending me stock photos of somebody else's family in your inbox? Email marketing has a 4,400% ROI. So my thought to that is step up and realize the opportunity right now. So let me give you some examples. I call these weekly digest emails. Here's an example. This one's from Taya DeCarlo. And this is just, I couldn't fit it on one screenshot. So I'm just kind of scrolling down. It's got sections. It's a digest. It's a roundup, that type of a thing. She calls it End of the Week. And it's just like a little note from her. Community spotlight. Here's an interview. Remember, she did a Zoom interview with this guy. This guy's, what is he? He's a mind and body health guru, fitness, somebody or another. So she did an interview, and it's basically just value-packed content that she puts together with the help of her team, and she sends out to her database, and her open rate is awesome. Check this one out. I'm going to open a link. This one goes to Heather Klompmaker's newsletter, also called a weekly digest, right? We are a community. So they've got this great video, and then they've got this behind the scenes dream versus reality. She's repurposing content she's using on social right here. We scroll down. Here's the blog or the caption that goes with it. Real estate news you can use. Here's some market update stuff. Speaking of buying a home virtually, here's her virtual process. And then she's got every time she has like an activity corner, download her crossword puzzle. She has an over 85% open rate on this email. More than 85%. Now I can tell you, if you look at the MailChimp averages from last year, the average in the real estate industry, so our industry, on average, the open rate was 19%. Technically, it was 19.1%. I got to give you the extra 0.1, right? That's the average open rate in our industry. Yet she's getting more than 85%. I got to tell you, like, I use this analogy a lot when I'm doing Marketing Edge about marketing. If a tree falls in the forest and nobody's there to watch it fall, did it make a sound? And I use that as kind of a comparable to marketing. Like if I send out an email and nobody actually gets it or reads it or opens it, does it have any kind of a positive impact on my business? And the answer is no, it doesn't, right? It doesn't. I remember when I started in real estate, it's been a decade now. I was on a team and I was helping the team with some of its marketing in addition to being a sales agent. And we were sending out emails and I was responsible for the email newsletter. And I remember I asked the team leader, I said, when do you want to meet so that we can go over the content for this email? It's the first time doing it. And he said to me, he said, we don't need to meet. I don't care. I don't care what goes in the email. That's what he told me. He said, all I care about is that when the recipient gets my email in their inbox, it reads my name, realtor. And then I said to him, because I'm kind of like this, I went, well, what happens when they start seeing your emails again and again and again? And every time they see your name, they start to hate you incrementally more, right? Because you're spamming them. I know I'm on kind of a soapbox, but in it, it's a 4,400% ROI. I see an absolute opportunity to level up your email marketing right now. All right, let me keep rolling. And I'll check the comments here in just a minute. I don't know what I'm clicking. Hang on. Here's another one. This is Tim Smith, Coldwell Banker legend. He's using MailChimp to send this out. It's beautiful. Market update, all kinds of stuff, listings, which ones have virtual tours. It's just great email marketing going out every single week right now. It's a weekly digest. So time to level up your email marketing. And I'll check that chat.
Jason.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Jason. So we're monitoring the chat and the Q&A. So when you want to take a break and you want to answer some questions, just let us know, and Peter will jump on and get after it.
All right, I'll pick at the Q&A real quick. Let's just see. I'm just kind of scanning through to see if there's anything I think is super relevant. What platform are they creating the emails on? I would just use Imprev, guys. Imprev's an unbelievable platform, and you can have it in CB Exchange. They used MailChimp. Maybe BombBomb. There's nothing special about any of the platforms. They're just email platforms. Can you put too much info in an email, Peter asks. Yeah, you probably can. Yet I'll tell you, I subscribe to a lot of emails that are incredibly detailed, and they're the ones I read the most because they were made with love. So I think you can use your discretion. And I would also tell you that, you can start small, have 2 or 3 sections and then add to it over time. My intention here is not to bear you down with too much. How do you add such a thing as a crossword puzzle? It was just a PDF that was there to be downloaded. Does Coldwell Banker have an email marketing platform that we can use? Imprev. How did Jason share his phone on screen while he was on Zoom? I use an app called Reflector. Sorry, I'm not marking these off as I go through them. I hope that's all right. How to do a weekly digest for someone with little marketing experience. You know what? MailChimp, for example, they've got a really great blog and they provide a ton of great useful content on how to get started with email marketing. I would begin with just doing a market update. You're licensed by your state. I assume you're in the US. You're licensed by your state. And so therefore you are a real estate expert. I would talk about the market, keep it like that. Will keeping current matters work? Yeah, so Cindy asked the question about KCM, keeping current matters. Yes, but if you listen to KCM, because I'm a big fan of theirs, they will tell you our content works best when you add to it your own commentary. Ours is meant to be like a supplement, but not the full package. You have to add to it to get the maximum impact, the local perspective, if you will. Do you still work with snail mail? I do, just not today because I have an hour, so I'm not getting into it. Imprev is an email marketing service. Go to CB Exchange. It's linked in there. So customized to my market, Cindy asks. Yes, we're talking about a market update. All right, let me just see if there's anything I missed. I'm kind of getting into the weeds.
You knew that was going to happen as soon as you went there. That's why I said, we'll monitor for you, but whatever, you're all good.
I do. I like to learn things the hard way, Todd. All right, let me jump back in. Next one on your notes. I call these view magnet videos. What I'm going to show you are 2 videos that you can R&D. Now, I'm just going to cut to the chase. R&D is typically research and development. In our ecosystem of Tom Ferry coaching members, we call it rip off and duplicate. So there's the language for you. A view magnet is a term that we've devised for a video that somebody made a video and then somebody else copied that video and then somebody else copied that video, and everybody who ever makes that same video concept, it goes basically viral. It generates tons of views and it has unbelievable success in terms of engagements on social media. So that's what a view magnet is. I'm going to give you 2 examples. And I wrote here, video is single-handedly the greatest format available in media. Now, I said that email is the best marketing channel. Video is the best format. So I am not contradicting myself. And I would go so far as to say that emails that include videos are the real winners, right? Let me give you some examples. Here's the first one I want to show you. This one's called Search for Home from Home. It's by a local broker in Arkansas, Pixel Properties. His name's Ray Allen. I want you to notice that he's got the Stay Home logo on the screen. I want you to pay attention to a few things. It's actually not him doing the video. He has one of his agents on his team. She's actually doing the video. He just put it together, and he kind of was the puppet master, if you will. She's touring a home. They're talking about what is their value proposition to serve buyers given what's going on in the marketplace. Now, caveat, disclaimer, indemnification. I don't live where you live. And what I do know is the shelter-at-home, stay-at-home policies are varied from county to county, all over the place. So I am trusting you to know the rules in terms of what you can and can't do. If you are or are not deemed an essential service, that kind of stuff. I'm counting on you to do your own research and lead on your own broker to make that decision, right? They're in Arkansas, right? And this was recorded like a month ago. So I'm going off of that. But I want you to get the idea, and I want you to hear a couple of things, see a couple of things. One, notice the sappy music in the background. It's very emotionally charged. The script is emotionally charged. The script is read in a voiceover. You're going to be asking a question about how do I edit a video like this? Can I tell you how they did the voiceover? So the girl is they just had somebody filming her with an iPhone. They put an iPhone on a gimbal like this. Let me stop my shirt so you can see this. They put an iPhone on a gimbal like this, right? And they walk around and film it, and then they edit it. You can use iMovie to edit, or you can go to Fiverr and get an editor, whatever, or maybe your brokerage office has an editor for you. And then they take the iPhone to record the voiceover, and they open up voice memos. And then they have the script written down, they put their voice recording on, and then they put a blanket over their head. That way the sound gets really, really crisp, like it's a movie theater quality sound. And then they've got the audio, and they can mix it all together using iMovie. So there's a few steps involved, but I'm kind of There's like no budget at all on this video. Let me let you watch it. You can judge it for yourself. Ready, get set. Let me mute my voice. Here we go.
We've really been created for this. All the media, the videos, the 360 tours, FaceTime showings. We were made to help in times just like these. We have clients who have to move. We won't give up on them. In times like these, we can be their feet. We can be their hand, guiding them, helping them to see and find home. And you know what's funny? This is nothing new for us. We've helped our clients buy this way for years. We will serve our clients any way we can. Search for your home from home.
It's a great video. If you want to look it up, it's all over social. If you want to watch that again, Ray Ellen. He's in Little Rock, Arkansas. It came from his team. Beautiful video. I like that they chose a vacant property. They put some slow motion on her to make it a little bit more dramatic and think like notice some of the effects, but I've seen that video ripped off again and again and again. Sometimes I've seen people do it to a better quality, and I've also seen it done to a lesser quality. But what I've seen consistently is it always performs every time. It's a view magnet. Let me give you another example. This one, Some Good News. You guys might know John Krasinski, the actor from The Office and Jack Ryan and stuff like that. He started a YouTube show during the pandemic on YouTube. They get millions of views called Some Good News. And it's gone viral. It's done really, really well. So this is Tim Macy. Tim is a broker, an agent in San Antonio, one of our coaching members. And he's sort of known as a kind of an all-star when it comes to video. I mean, he's made some amazing videos. This one's low grade, and I'll walk you through it in a second. So it's called Some Good News San Antonio. And this is his best performing video he's ever done on YouTube organically. Now, that's saying something because the dude does a ton of video. I took this screenshot early on. It's gained since then, but he just highlights good news, kind of like a newscaster. Let me tell you what his setup is. He is, because he's at home, he has an office, but he can't go to it right now. He's at home, and he's sitting on this is a cardboard table that he's sitting at. He's sitting in his daughter's playroom, but he's got a green screen that he's draped up behind him. So he's done a green screen. There's some light editing. At one point, you're going to see that his daughter is crawling around behind him. Her head's going to bobble like right behind him. And it's fun, like it's low grade, but the enemy of the best is good enough, right? And it gets the job done. How did he source the ideas? He put a post on Facebook and Instagram and said, hey, I'm going to do this video. I want to document some of the good news and great things happening in San Antonio. What have you got for me? And then people went to work and said, you should talk to this person. And what about this? And then this happened. And so he put a little news anchor show together. I'll let you judge it for yourself. Let me get myself on mute. Let's give it a watch. Tim Macy, like the store Macy's.
What's going on, San Antonio? This is Some Good News. As part of our non-existent licensing agreement with the famous actor John Krasinski, we do have to promote his upcoming film. It is a reboot of the 1997 classic Face Off, and we are super excited to see Castor Troy back on the big stage. Identity theft is a real thing. In San Antonio news, 4 local nurses have taken off and headed up to the big city of New York to help out in the epicenter of the epidemic. Katie Daly messaged me and said they do need more PPE. So if you're looking to help and want to send them some PPE, please let us know and we will let you know where to send it. In this world of coronavirus, birthday parties have been neglected and suffered, and Anthony's Cosplay Services and Snapshot SA have been helping out a ton by sending some of their characters over to kids' houses for their birthday. As you can see here, Spider-Man made an appearance at some birthdays this weekend, and the kids loved it. It was all free of charge, so thank you, Anthony, for all that you do. And with that, we go from the 410 up 35 to the northeast side where Trey Serrano has some more good news for us.
Thank you, Tim. there isn't that much traffic on 35 North. In a time of increased alcohol consumption, San Antonio sure knows how to drink. There are 2 distilleries that have decreased the alcohol production, Ranger Creek Brewing and Desert Door Distillery. They have taken their resources and are producing much needed hand sanitizer for first responders and healthcare workers, a whopping 1,000 gallons a week. And remember, even during this pandemic, our breakfast tacos are still better than Austin's. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you, Trey, for that good news and this horrible haircut you gave me. In other news, Tiger King is taking over the country for at least the next week. It may already be gone, we're not sure. But San Antonio has created this amazing meme. Somebody did it, I don't know who did, but it depicts the different characters from Tiger King as different areas of San Antonio, and it is hilarious. But after laughing at this for a good 5 or 6 minutes, we did notice one was missing, and that is Carol Baskin's husband, representing Castle Hills. We had a big personal victory happen here in San Antonio this week when Carmen ate only 1 cookie, not being able to go inside 100. Chef, you guys, videos, your home, everybody.
I'll show you his setup. Here he is. That's his green screen. His daughter was hanging out underneath the table, like there she is, in the playroom, right? All right, you guys get the gist, right? That idea could be ripped off. There's not a lot of moving parts involved in that, and people will love it. It's fun. It does well every time. All right, tip number 4, grab your notepads. Virtual seminars, AKA webinars. I've been calling webinars the new open house, and I'll explain what I think by that in a second. Top platforms, Zoom, WebEx, GoToMeeting, Microsoft Teams, etc. Zoom's the way to go if you're going to do like a webinar. All right, so webinars are the new open house. What do I mean? I mean, like, open houses historically are a great lead source for agents. I got my start on open houses. When they work most effectively, it's when you do them consistently, right? So my point in doing a seminar or a webinar is that it needs to be done with a cadence of we do it every so often, right? The results are always in the repetition, so that you've got to do it weekly, right? That's what I mean when I say it's the new open house, but also because of the ability for folks to sign in, to register in some way, just like they would at an open house. Now, you can still do virtual open houses. I just don't have time to talk about that today. I wrote down here, promote and conduct weekly webinars. I'm going to give you 3 ways of doing it, just real fast. Letter A, run the same topic over and over. Like, so I do a buyer seminar every week. That's one way to do it. Or B, mix varied, I mistyped that, varied topics week to week. So in other words, mix it up. One week it's buyers, the next week we talk about, I'll give you some topics in a second. We might talk about renting versus owning, and then we might talk about new construction. We could vary the topics week by week, so long as there's a cadence to it. Third option, this is like the more advanced one, but it's called an evergreen webinar. You can Google that if you like. An evergreen or an on-demand webinar means I'm going to pre-record my webinar. And this is typically used for like marketing gurus who use webinars as part of their sales funnel, where they're like, hey, sign up for my webinar. It's free every 30 minutes or whatever. They're not giving a webinar every 30 minutes. They recorded it one time, and then people are signing up and they're just choosing whichever slot is the most available, most effective to them. Now, why do they do that? They do that because, hey, sign up for my webinar. It's in 6 days. And then somebody signs up, but between that moment of signing up and getting on the webinar, they've lost interest and they moved on. So this idea of pre-recording is, I've just got on a rolling clock. It's just an idea. You can kind of do some research on how you might want to execute that if you did it, but 3 different ways of doing it. Let's keep rolling. This is a guy named Zachary Faust. This is his team, Loft Realty. They're in Delaware. This is a post he put on Facebook. It says, don't you wish you could gain all the knowledge of a home buying seminar while not having to leave your couch? Today is that day. Then he goes through what you get, and then he gives you a link. Notice it's a Zoom link, right? It's a Zoom link. So you click the link, but I want to give you a pro tip. If you have a Zoom account, and if you pay for your account, you can pre-schedule meetings or webinars. There's a difference, right? Let's just talk about Zoom language. The difference between a meeting and a webinar. A meeting on Zoom is, I see you, you see me, we all come on and we all see and hear each other. A webinar is, we're doing a webinar now. You come on as an attendee, I come on as a presenter. So there's presenters and attendees, right? You can decide based upon which one makes the most sense, but with a paid account on Zoom, you can pre-schedule these things. So they give you a link that is good for a future scheduled time. You with me so far? I hope so. But there's a button that nobody clicks, and the button says require registration. And so when they click the link, it's going to go to a registration paywall, basically, where it says, what's your name, what's your email address? And so I can use Zoom as a landing page. Tracking with me right now? Use it as a landing page where it's like they have to register for access. So I'm actually lead generating. Go back to, I said, seminars or webinars are the new open house. What I mean is sign in and generate some people who have intent. Think about it. You just did a buyer seminar and somebody registered to say they're going. They're raising their hand and saying, I got questions. I have inquiries. That's intent, right? So he does this. He posted this thing on Facebook. I think he put it on Instagram, LinkedIn, maybe TikTok as well, just organically. He didn't put any money behind it as an ad. He just put it out there. On the first one he did, he had 248 people show up. 248 people came to a first-time homebuyer seminar. Now, in terms of what he talked about, which is not what I'm going to get into right now, he gave his regular buyer seminar spiel. The thinking of most people there was they were just trying to gain information about what the normal process for buying a home is, so that when the smoke clears, so to speak, they can reach out to Zach and they can work with him to buy a home. Now, I know some people are doing this and they're talking about how to buy now virtually, how to sell without showings, those types of things. You can decide what the content looks like. But this sucker performed 200. I mean, I know other people who are doing it and they're getting like 10 or 11 people. But like there's a guy named Robert Mack, SoCal. He's doing it on a weekly basis, gets about 10 to 12 people to show up. About 50% of them are saying, we'd like to work with you, Robert. He is literally filling the pipeline right now with buyers. Some are wanting to do work now based upon what they can and can't do in that marketplace. And others are like, we like you. You're our knowledge broker. We trust you. And he's filling the pipeline, right? That's marketing, right? Operations, marketing, sales. Marketing fills the pipeline. Seminars to me are a way to do that. Here are some examples of topics. Let me just check my time. We're doing okay. Some examples of topics you could cover. And this is not an exhaustive list. It's just a long one. First-time homebuyer webinar. Relocating webinar. So it could be relo that's like, hey, you're moving within town, out of the state, out of country, cross country. You could do different segments of it. Upsizing or downsizing, top 5 things to know. Flipping or investing. You could bring on an interview for this one if you needed to. Mortgages and financing. Please bring on a loan officer to help you with this one. You could do title and escrow too. Nothing sounds more exciting than that. I kid. Building and new construction, or it could be renovation. This one to me has money all over it. I am imagining how many people who are like rethinking their lifestyle priorities right now. And I'm just trying to think objectively and strategically. I'm like, okay, live, work, play. Well, I think the suburbs just got a whole new look, because now I'm thinking like, well, maybe I can work from home. I'm just pretending, right? Maybe a home office is important to me. Maybe a bonus room for the kids to play is important to me. Maybe a pool out back is important to me. I have a feeling people's preferences, their priorities in terms of what they want in a home are changing. I'm also guessing they're searching for homes online a lot right now because they're curious. We should be all over that. So it could be building, new construction, a webinar. It could be renovation, renovating a house. But on the building thing, it could be like, hey, you've got a plot of land. How do you build? And I bring on my builder and we talk about the process, or buying new construction, whatever it is. Condo, like I have clients who are they're running ad, and they're doing this sensitively. We don't want to be tone deaf, right? It needs to be appropriate to your marketplace. But there are people who are looking on their websites for homes with pools, for homes with home offices, for homes with bonus rooms. We're seeing the activity to support that this is what buyers are showing more interest in right now. You can do one on condos, HOAs, and horizontal property regimes, whatever. You could do one on don't do this one alone, immigration regulations. I personally coach a client. Most of his business consists of folks who are not from the United States. It's an international group. And right now they're going through a lot of stuff with immigration questions and concerns. What he's been doing is aligning interviews through Zoom, and he's inviting all of his people to attend them. He's getting like immigration attorneys, CPAs. He's bringing in outside expertise to help him add value to his database who have questions about these topics. Renting versus owning. Downtown versus the burbs. I think that would be fun too. Like, hey, pros and cons of living downtown, pros and cons of the burbs, small town America. What do you think? That kind of stuff. But if you live in a rural area, it could be like farms and agricultural. There's not a shortage of topics that could be covered with webinars. And what I know is your agents, like you are real estate agents. And something I've learned about real estate agents is you're all really good at talking. You are really good at dealing with people. And so I could argue that you were born for this. You were born to deliver seminars and convey information to people in a way that they can understand that positions you as a broker, because that's what you are, right? This to me is a no-brainer. This is another example. This guy's name's Brian. This one I want to point out to you is an ad with a learn more button on Facebook. So he's promoting his with an ad behind it. And if I click that link, he uses, this is Listings to Leads. They're a landing page software that he pays for. And he just has a landing page. Quite frankly, you could drive them to the Zoom page, right? Like remember Zach goes to the Zoom link and the Zoom requires registration. However, if you want fancier landing pages, you could look at tools like Listings to Leads, Unbounce, ClickFunnels. They like even maybe Eventbrite would be a potential there for these types of things. One thing I will tell you, do not use a Facebook event. Don't do this with a Facebook event right now. It seems like Facebook is sort of squashing the reach of events. In fact, if you create an event in Facebook, it gives you a big warning that says, due to social distancing, we strongly discourage you from gathering in groups. Well, what we're seeing is when clients use events and they promote the event with their virtual open house or with their buyer seminar, with whatever it is, they're getting really bad results on Facebook. But if you just put a Zoom link inside a post, the results are phenomenal. Now, I want to echo something I said a little while ago, and then we'll do some Q&A and stuff in a little bit here. There is up to a 70% increase in usage on Facebook right now. Now that includes, as I said, WhatsApp and Messenger, but it's Facebook, Instagram. What we know is people are home and they're on the platform. However, we also know that a lot of big time advertisers pulled their money out of Facebook advertising. So what that means for you is Facebook ads are on sale right now. Just so you know, the average cost per lead last year for a Facebook ad run in the real estate space was $5.18. That's according to WordStream benchmarks, $5.18. We have clients right now generating leads under 50 cents a lead. Now that's extremely low, but I'm not seeing them go much more than $3 a lead right now. It's on sale. So let's do a use case real fast. Let's assume you're going to do an ad like Zachary, where it's, I got a seminar or a virtual webinar that I want to promote, and I'm going to try to drive people to that Zoom link where they're forced to register. You understand the use case? That's what we're doing. And let me jump out of my presentation if I could. And I'm going to go to Chrome. And I'm over here. I'm inside of CB Exchange. I'm apparently Teresa. So I'm inside of CB Exchange. Specifically, I'm in the social ad engine section. You should have, just type it in the search bar if you don't know where it is. Social ad engine. I was messing with this thing today. Funny story is I was at Coldwell Banker, Sean Blankenship, you were there. I was there when the word exchange, when we were developing the concept, and I never got to see the product finished, and it looks really beautiful. So social ad engine, I got to tell you, I've never seen at any company a tool like this. If you haven't used it, this thing is awesome. Let me show you how it works. Create ad campaign. Teresa, how much money should I spend of yours right now? What do you think? Just kidding. It's not yours. It's going to be distinctive properties. Let it load. Here's how it's laid out.
Spend away.
Spend away. Okay. I can do, it's called promote yourself or promote other listings. So it feeds in all the listings. I could do a listing promotion or whatever, fine. But up here are the pre-built templates. This one's for reach. Look at the words there, reach, traffic. What does traffic mean? Traffic means I'm trying to drive people to my website. Well, Zoom gives me a link, meaning that's a different website. So I'm going to choose the traffic option here. Reach, lead gen. These are lead forms. Those are super cool too. Lead form, and then traffic. I'm just going to try this one here. It says traffic, meaning I'm going to drive them to a website. I'm going to have to modify it, right? So I click promote, and it says, it's just confirming my intention is to drive traffic to my web page or a web page, just to be clear. Edit the content. I'm going to change the headline. I'm going to say, what are we doing? It's going to say, let's pretend we're doing building your dream home. Learn the steps to build your dream home. Something like that, okay? Body text could be, here's where I put my amazing caption. And you're gonna just, I'm not gonna write a caption right now. I wanna remind you, like Zachary's looked like that right there. Link description. So that's what's down here, right? Underneath the headline. So it's like supported text to make this seem more clickable. So, all right. I'll just say Sean Blankenship, your name came to mind, will walk you through the ins and outs. That's a lousy description, but something like that. This is just meant to be supporting text to reinforce the headline, okay? Destination URL, this is a required field. This is where your Zoom link goes. So if I go to zoom.us like this, and I click on my account like this, and I'm gonna do a meeting instead of a webinar. I'm gonna do a schedule a new meeting. I'm gonna call it this is my seminar, call it whatever I want. Sean Blankenship seminar. I scheduled a when, okay? I'm just gonna do it for today at 2 p.m. is fine. That's in 8 minutes, my time. Registration required, yes. And then I can change all this stuff later, but I'm not gonna bother. So save, here's my link, copy the invitation, right? I just want the link. I don't want that. Right click, copy link. Let's go back over here, right click, paste. There's my link. So that means when they click the learn more button, it's gonna go to that Zoom registration screen, okay? Oh, it's wrong, it's not secure. It is secure, it's HTTPS. Hang on, this is my first time using CB Exchange. Sorry, the URL provided is not valid. Please adjust your URL to get another one. What did I do different wrong? Oh, well, apparently it took it now. There it is. That's this HTTPS means it's SSL encrypted. It is secure. Okay, next, then we change the photos, right? So you can change those out. I'm not gonna do that right now. You click change, put your photos up or whatever you want. And then you can change your targeting. You can choose the target by a location or use a default, whatever you want here. And then you save the content and submit it in and you're done, right? That's an ad. So what happens is it drives people, it runs the ad to your target audience so they can see and be invited to your event. They click learn more, and then it goes to that Zoom registration screen and you're generating leads all day long. I hope that makes sense. Todd, let's jump into some Q&A and then we got some closing comments if that works for you.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And I might bring Peter back in here to ask some questions there. This is amazing, tactical, real, relevant stuff. So, you know, in the comments, give me a thumbs up if this is what you're talking about. Like if this is what, there you go. That's right. Current, love it, love it, love it, love it. It was pretty cool, you know, just kind of listening to you talk. I mean, there were some basics that I got, right? Like Zoom is it. Like we're like almost a Zoom nation at this point. That is the way we do business. I love the IG Live, doing it with somebody else and gaining access and combining the followership. Seminar series is the new open house, and social ad engine. Those are huge takeaways for me. Why don't you guys in the comments put what your takeaways are? What's the one thing that you're like, yes, I'm going to use that? And Peter, do you have some questions there?
Yeah, I think Jason, you did a great job of presenting that. I think you answered most of the questions that I'm seeing. I'll keep scanning. Todd.
Yeah, there were some questions about different platforms and that kind of stuff. I did see slides. So there's 2 ways to get slides. Obviously, I'll have those. If you want to connect with me on Instagram, it's Todd P. Conklin. That's an easy one. All the people that connect, I'll just DM you. You can also do it via email. I'll also load the slides on Corner Office if you want to do it that way. So a variety of ways.
I'll shoot them over to you here when we're done, and then I'll let you handle from there.
Yeah, that would be great.
All right, can I read Stephanie's real quick? She says she has a virtual tour on Facebook scheduled today. If I do a live and then post to a Zoom also in the comments, would that be a good idea? Trying to interpret that question. So I have a virtual tour on Facebook scheduled today. if I do it live and then post Zoom also in the comments, would that be a good idea? So Stephanie, my thought is you're kind of giving away the reason they would have to click the link and go to Zoom. So you have to decide what's my objective. Like if you remember in the social ad engine, whatever it was called, inside of CB Exchange, it would tell you what the names of the campaign. It would say this campaign's for reach, this campaign's for lead generation, this campaign's for traffic, right? So you have to think about what am I trying to get them to do and what's my offer to give to them to get them to take that action. So in this case, if I want them to register for a seminar, or your case, if I want them to register to access a virtual tour, if I give them the virtual tour live on Facebook, there's no reason they're going to submit their information to me. Does that make sense, Stephanie? So I would say it's either or. You have to decide, is it for reach? And if it is, go live, make sure as many people see it as possible. But if you want to actually get people to like lead generate on that, I would do a Facebook lead form or a Zoom link, something like that, where you can get the email addresses and build your pipeline, build your database. Just a thought.
There's also a question about who the agent was that you were referring to in Arkansas.
His name is Ray Ellen. His team is Pixel Properties. Ray Ellen.
Peter, do you have any more?
There are a ton of questions coming through the chat and Q&A.
I got one more in the Q&A. Sarah's asking, what's a good tool to attach my phone to in order to make videos while walking around a house? I like the DJI. It's called the DJI Osmo 3. A lot of people use the Movement or whatever it is, Moment, whatever they've got. These are they're called gimbals. They're iPhone gimbals if you want to Google search it, but the DJI Osmo 3 is like $150. It's got a cool feature where I can tell it, it can recognize my face. I can set it down on a desk and it will follow me as I move around, which is kind of a nice feature. So, however, the downside is if you don't have a lapel microphone, the further you walk away, nobody can hear you. So that's a problem.
Yeah. And there's some great ones on the market right now. So for those of you that are adding questions in the comments, there's just too many comments to be able to keep track. So if you've got a relevant question for right now, you can put that in the Q&A section, please. So Jason, while we're waiting for some additional questions, you know, I get questions from agents, right? So as part of our organization, we provide coaching to our agents, right? Mm-hmm. And so I get questions from agents, and I always love kind of reiterating what Tom talked about as there's a third of the people that are never going to be coached. Yep. There are a third of the people that want to be coached by the owner of the company or the manager of the company, and that's wonderful. And then there's a third of the company that want to be coached, but they actually don't want to be coached within the organization. And the question that I get is, as an owner, as the leader of an organization, where do I feel like our role is in that whole deal? And a gal by the name of Debbie Lewandowski, shout out to Debbie in Newport Beach, told me once, she's like, you know what? It's great to have a coach, but I am their partner. And so with that in mind, as we as leaders, as managers, as the partners that work day in and day out with the agents to help them live that distinctive life, as we call it, what's going on in the Tom Ferry space from a coaching perspective? We keep hearing about Pivot. What is that?
Yeah, let me walk you through it real quick. I got some visuals. I came prepared. So we launched a program about 45 days ago called Pivot. It's a bolt-on to our regular coaching program. So a lot of you, I imagine, are coaching clients now. We love you. Pivot became an add-on to everything they already got. So they get everything Pivot has to offer. However, the whole notion was like, trash your 2020 business plan. It's time to pivot. And so it's $99 a month for Pivot, no obligation, no contract. We just want to help. What you get with that program this is like the very entry level, right? You get 2 webinars every week with Tom, with me, with other industry leaders. I got to tell you, we've never done 2. We've always done at least 4 per week. So it's what it is a lot of training. So like I do marketing Mondays. So at least once a week, I'm in there doing a presentation like this with new ideas to try for the week, new strategies, what's working for other clients and so forth. And the content shifts week by week because, you know, this whole crisis, I've been telling folks, it's like we're flying through an asteroid field, right? We're using evasive maneuvers, going up and down and trying to find the plays that work the best. So it's resources, it's checklist, plans, samples, just a lot of resources. We give you access to our software called Illume. So you can log everything in there, access it there. It's a lovely portal. You can view all the trainings on demand. So we can watch them live and view them on demand at your own leisure. And every training has resources attached to it. So there's PDFs and checklists and slides so that it's just super easy to navigate and get the training you need to stay abreast of what's going on. A couple more things. We have a product called Pivot Plus. This is if you want a coach with you during Pivot. So it's $300 extra. And then one of our coaches will align with you. And they're going to do just 2 15-minute sessions with you to make sure you're moving forward in your business, that you're taking the right actions, that you're getting the benefits out of it. So Pivot's $99. Add the coach, it takes it to $399. Because of Todd and Coldwell Banker and the company, we've actually got a special offer for you guys today. If you use this link, and you got to go to this link right now, you get $20 off Pivot. So it was $99 a month. It goes down to $79 a month. The thing about it is it's on demand and it's month to month. So if you pay for the month and don't want to do next month, that's really your prerogative. There is no contract with Pivot. And then you can add the Pivot Plus. It's $20 off there too. So this is the link. I would screenshot it. TomFerry.com/pivotjp if you want the discount. And then one more thing, Todd, and I'll go back to you. If you're in a position now where you want full-fledged coaching, because our regular coaching contracts, like you can see here at Pivot Plus, you get 2 15-minute sessions. What we normally do is either 2 or 4 full coaching sessions every single month. So my clients who are in what we call our elite program, it's 4 coaching sessions per month. They're 30 minutes a piece. And then there's a lot of supportive webinars and resources in between that. Our core clients are 2 times a month. There's a really good offer on the table, and this one's good only today. And it's impressive. I actually found out about this morning. If you call this number, this will connect you to one of our folks, one of our coaching consultants. But today only, they're offering right now on Elite, which is the 4 calls per month, they're offering a 75% discount on the first month. Now, Elite and Core, the regular coaching products, are a 12-month commitment. This person can talk to you about that, but it's 75% off for the first month of Elite. For Core, it's 50% off the first month. It's good only today. Call that number, 855-575-3821, and get the details. It never hurts to know what that looks like. And I'm not going to walk you through all the intricacies of the program just out of respect for your time, but it's 855-575-3821. And if you're interested in just that Pivot product, the $99 that's marked down to $79, here's the link right there. TomFerry.com/pivotjp. This is for the special pricing. This is for the special pricing. So make sure you use those numbers or links. Todd, did I leave any question marks that I didn't answer for you?
I think I have one question as a follow-up on the Pivot program. So the Pivot is a new thing. It's not something that Tom Ferry was doing before. How long do you expect that the Pivot program is actually going to be going?
The intent was 4 months, run it through June basically. So March, April, May, June. But we're going to run it as long as we need to run it, month to month. And then when it's done, it's done.
Right.
It's meant to be through this period. I don't know if it will go longer than June or not, but that's why there's no contract. It's month to month. You can do it 1 month, stop, do it the next month. I will tell you, you need to keep going consecutively if you want to preserve that $20 off pricing I'm offering you.
Great.
But ultimately,
Beautiful.
It boils down to how long is this epidemic, or this pandemic with us? That's what it boils down to.
Right, for sure. And I'm getting some more messages. Yeah, so it's on Instagram. For me, it's Todd P. Conklin. So go there and again, DM me. I'll make sure I get that. For Jason, at Jason Pantana on Instagram, that's definitely his preferred. But be on the lookout, YouTube, for the live streaming. Oh, there you go. Perfect.
That's me.
That's awesome. Beautiful. All right. Hey, Jason, again, thank you so much. Great information. I know that the agent's going to take at least one thing and they're going to actually work their tails off, and it's going to make a difference in their business. So thanks again, man. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate the time very much. I hope you guys crush in your businesses and have a wonderful weekend. Thank you, guys, very much.
Thank you.
All right, I'm jumping off. See you guys.
All right, guys. Have a
see
good
you guys.
day.
Thank you.